Shruti Sethi. In my day job, I actually work with Microsoft Azure. That's the cloud provider. And a lot of my focus is, end-to-end efficiency, whether it's efficiency in terms of dollar impact or efficiency in terms of carbon impact in the environment. So these two, of course, coming as an intersection is my passion area. And within OCP, I'm with OCP Sustainability Group also as the steering committee rep.
Yeah.
So I help drive a lot of the sustainability initiatives. And on the other side, I'm also a co-lead for women in OCP, which is close and dear to my heart. Where we are very new, 1 year old, but I and Sang and the rest of our team is trying to make a more supportive and inclusive environment within OCP for women contributors. So,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time you invest in OCP in general, and then also the time and leadership you've provided to women in OCP. I was telling Sung that it's not going unnoticed. I think it's very visible. It's getting a lot of great attention. So I'm excited about it. I'm so glad that you're doing it.
I'm glad it is not going unnoticed and getting some attention.
It's very much so.
Yeah.
But I had the privilege already of asking some questions about the successes and how it's structured, but I kind of get more in the details of challenges, but only for the reason of what are some of the challenges you're facing? And I think the interest from my perspective is recruiting more people to come help assist with some of those challenges. It's not just dead ends. These are challenges, we need to fix them. So, I hate to start on somewhat of a negative note, but what are some of the challenges that you face over this short period of time of a year? Where do you sit now? Because I've heard lots of great successes, but what are you up against a little bit?
Yeah, so I think in terms of sort of running the group and bringing everyone together, one challenge I certainly do see, probably that's a challenge in other projects also, is that it is geographically spread out. The members are very geographically spread out.
Yeah.
So especially in the networking kind of events or mentoring kind of events, the events that we really want to focus on. So, folks are provided with the kind of mentorship they desire.
Mm-hmm.
In those kind of events, it would be great if there was an in-person, interface.
Yeah.
So certainly that is one challenge. So we are trying to make sure that, even though some of these trainings about stagecraft and how to speak on stage, etc., are virtual, we maybe provide a later time where folks can practice their session with everybody who's on the Zoom call or have a smaller group interaction, something that, makes it a little bit more personal. So that's certainly been one challenge that, we are spread out geographically, so to bring everyone together. If I think about, challenges for, women that WOCP actually wants to target. So this is not about running the particular sessions.
Sure.
But there is certainly, an imbalance on how much, women are equally talented, but how much they are sort of coming to the forefront, how much we are able to view their contributions. So there is an imbalance due to multiple reasons. Sometimes women also take a lot of, I'll say, responsibility on their side, and they have a lot of things to juggle. And then I also say that in some cases, women are more shy to voice their opinion. So it's harder for them to project, although they are equally talented and doing all the same kind of contributions and work. So on that note, that I think is the main challenge that women in OCP wants to address. And somebody had raised this question also on the Women in AI panel that we just had about women representation in keynotes.
Oh,
and that's sort of a very tangible way of expressing this very challenge that we are talking about. In a very tangible way, one thing that we want to make sure is WOCP encourages as many women as possible to submit abstracts for Keynote the next year.
Yeah.
So come next year, maybe we can, talk to multiple women, encourage multiple women, start encouraging them to build their maybe session or profile or whatever they think they need right from now.
Yeah.
So come next global summit, OCP should be inundated with submissions from women leaders who want to speak on the keynote stage.
That would be great.
So, that's one major challenge that WOCP wants to solve.
Oh, I love
right there.
that.
So yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. Like if you don't see yourself represented on that
Yes.
stage, it's hard to
Yes.
imagine yourself or be encouraged to
Right.
kind of submit to that. But I will say, from being in the room during the selection process, the women are completely underrepresented in the selection process. So
Yeah.
if we don't have the ability to select those, the foundation I think does a great job, and nearly half of our team on the foundation side are women. Is that if we don't have that in the pool to select from, we want to follow the community and what the community wants to go out and achieve and do, and equally represent the community. So we need the submissions coming in that represent our community.
Yep. Yep. And that's one front and center tangible target, to solve this representation of women. That hopefully next year we can encourage a lot more women leaders to just put in their abstract, and
Sure.
then like you said, it's a cycle. When you see yourself represented there, then the next year you think about submitting and
Yeah.
being there. So
Yeah, or
hopefully
other women who aren't necessarily involved in WOCP, but see the impact of women
Yep.
interacting in our industry,
Yeah.
especially on stages like that.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
absolutely.
changes the cycle a bit.
Yep.
So, kind of speaking, you said one tangible area. What other metrics and ways are you measuring women in OCP's impact in our community or in our industry?
Yeah. So I'll say one other easy metric, so to say, is also our membership. Like
Mhm.
we want to make sure that we are able to reach out and cater to as many, women in OCP as possible. So we are relatively new. I think probably Sang also mentioned about this,
Yeah.
that we started like an year back.
Yep.
So we are actually still, finding our footing and still very much in the process of growth. We are maybe 230 plus members
Oh, wow.
right now, and a lot of folks actually joined us during the summit. I was very happy to see the notifications coming in rapidly.
Oh, good.
So we do want to make sure that we expand on that front for two reasons. One is, A, we are able to cater whoever is our members because we have a direct contact with them.
Sure.
And then B, our members are also our source of ideas. So, as that expands, we'll hopefully be able to, source and get more ideas of events and help in driving events.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, that's I think the second metric that we really, really do want to focus on.
Excellent. That makes a lot of sense. You talked a little bit about future plans and how you measure women in OCP success from a membership perspective, engaging on the show. But what's next? What are the upcoming areas of focus for women in OCP?
Yeah. So, like we spoke about, that encourage women within OCP and get them, better representation, etc. That's, I think, the internal area of focus that we have, the internal area of opportunity that we see. Outside of that, we also wanted, WOCP to start collaborating with other women groups in the industry.
Okay.
So, like for example, there are some data center specific conferences that happen where women representation is also, in the same sort of in the same boat.
Sure.
And could really use help, and our women would, sort of get highlighted if they are able to go there. So we were thinking, A, let's look at opportunities outside of OCP also where our women in OCP can get highlighted.
Yeah.
So that's, one way we want to, progress and leverage that opportunity. Other one is the major women in, maybe not women in data center, but women in tech kind of groups. There are a number of groups in the industry that are maybe more established than us too, since we are relatively new. So like Women in Tech, exactly that name, that is one of the groups that is established a while back. They do very well. So our one other aim was that as a future opportunity, we try to collaborate with some of these industry groups and, have more of a leverage some of their learnings and things that they have set up, and just whatever we can offer them, of course, in return. And that way, maybe our women in OCP are again getting more of the resources. They are getting access to a wider network, and hopefully are able to grow even faster.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I think of other groups like Women in Tech, Women in Mission Critical, like those are closely related, but that's a whole different audience and a different series of events. And so, I could totally see how that increases opportunities, not only for women in OCP, but those groups as well.
Yep. And I would like to mention, like, these are pretty broad areas of opportunity.
Yeah.
We have not set a timeline to it.
Sure.
There is a lot of work that is required for all of this. I don't know how much we would be able to do this if we meet next OCP summit, and how much of that would be already accomplished. But all of this is what is on our agenda, things that we are passionate to make happen in WOCP. So hopefully we'll be able to push maximum possible out of it.
Yeah, of course.
And if somebody listening is part of some of these other groups and would like to help us collaborate with them, please do reach out. We would love to do that.
If you're out there, the link will be on this video. It'll be in this podcast listing. We'll get you in contact, or just go to the OCP website, search Women in OCP, and get on the mailing list there. You can reach out.
Yep.
So
yep,
a plug for you. Awesome. Make it very clear.
Thank you.
So other than reaching out to other groups, how do you plan to scale Women in OCP? You're increasing membership. We're looking at exposure on Keynote stage, other groups. What else is on the menu?
Okay. So in terms of scaling, there was one thing that we did want to make sure. We wanted to ensure that at least all the domains within data center, because there are multiple domains within data center, and OCP is divided according to those domains, the technical domains like networking, security, sustainability, cooling, etc., etc.
Sure.
Right. So we did want to make sure that we are actually a good representation of women from all of these different domains as we scale. So not become completely focused towards any one of these domains, either in the trainings that we were providing, because we are providing some technical trainings also. We did one, and we plan of keep doing some technical trainings for the attendees.
Okay.
So we wanted to make sure that we are not becoming focused towards any one of the domains. And also in terms of membership, it's not that we are only able to reach out to one or two of those domains. Make sure that we are across all the communities of OCP. So that was certainly one area that we wanted to keep in mind in terms of scaling.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sorry.
No, that makes sense. Diversity within your own group.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there is another point that I would like to highlight. I know the group says Women in OCP. That is everybody who would encourage women in OCP. That doesn't mean that we are closed to non-women.
Okay.
We are certainly open to, non-women folks who want to join in. We would actually love those supporters. And our OCP CEO, George, is a very big supporter in just that very category. So we do want to make sure that we are making that message very clear while scaling, that it's not that we only want women members. We want supporters who are non-women also. Like if you are thinking that you can encourage women contributors, if that is one thing that is on your mind, you are passionate about that, then you are in complete same frequency as us. Please do come join us.
No, that's a great invite. I think it's important, even for someone, speaking as a man and an outsider, in some regards, is I don't want to be in the way, right? So I think there's sometimes men will take the position of, and I'm not speaking for all men, but in comment is well, we'll let women have that and we'll just stay out of the way. And maybe that's not the best approach to accomplish things at the scale you're talking about.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. You don't need to be, be in a different world and let women in OCP be. We actually grow better when we are able to sort of coordinate with you, get your support, listen to your thoughts, and have you listen to our thoughts. So
that's awesome.
So if that's in your mindset, you are absolutely part of the folks we want to access.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear, because I think that's another big reason I got behind doing this podcast is getting the things that don't come across on the website, or things that that aren't super clear just from a title or something you heard about, really connecting with people who are leading the effort, extending the invitation so that people can connect interpersonally and actually join these efforts and be part of things. So if that's the one thing that comes across in this, and it helps more people that are supporters and allies in your efforts and believe in the same thing and believe in your mission and want to help it, that they join, I'd be thrilled.
That would be awesome.
If anybody goes to the website, clicks the link and joins in, starts getting involved, you'd make me very happy. You'd make the organization better.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for that.
You mentioned, I guess this is an element of partnerships and collaborations that would be helpful. including also non-women into the effort. But what other what other efforts and alliances does your group seek?
Okay. So one is going in terms of what we are basically targeting, in order to make sure that we are not becoming focused to one or two of the domains or few of the domains within OCP. We want to sort of structure that such that we actually have an alliance or some kind of an understanding with each of the groups, so they are able to equally promote women in OCP and help us with that that reach. That is one part of the internal alliance that we hope to sort of build, that will ensure that we are not tipping the scale too much towards one side. Sure. And having everybody from all the domains of data center coming in.